Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I'm here with a book haul. The book haul is going to be an account of the books that I got when I paid a visit to Booktrader in Hamilton, New Jersey, which I went the first time and I was very much impressed with the marvelous wonderland and great selection of books that they had to offer. And I wanted to go again when a friend of mine, her name is Jeanne, I wanted to go when she was there so that I can go get some books and then have a bit of a conversation with her. Because it's quite amazing the people that you meet in the BookTube and the Goodreads community because they're just such great people. And I can definitely say that about Jen. But when I was at Booktrader, I bought 10 books and got an ARC, which is an advanced reading copy of a book, which I'll be talking about that a little bit more later in the video. But let's get right into what I got while I was there. Recently, I've been in a great nonfiction kick, which I've been adding a lot more nonfiction into my book collection. This whole wall here is primarily nonfiction books. It's filling up very quickly to the point that I may be making rearrangements so that I can expand my nonfiction collection. But the first thing that I got while I was there was a book called Which President Killed a Man? Tantalizing Trivia and Fun Facts About Our Chief Executives and First Ladies by James Humes, which I'm into anything about U.S. presidential history, so random fact books about the presidents like this are always bound to catch my attention, for I feel that each of them has something different to offer, and that is the magic of a collection of this kind. Next thing that I got was The Pianist, which is the account of Wladyslaw Szpilman's survival in Warsaw during the Holocaust. This book was adapted into a film in the early 2000s, and it was deemed one of the best of not just the year, but of the decade. I watched it and I thought it was brilliant as well, so I'm definitely inclined to check out this book. Next thing that I got is The Professor and the Madman, which is a tale of murder, insanity, and the making of the Oxford English Dictionary by Simon Winchester. And I've heard a lot about this particular work of nonfiction and the great historical speculation that lie behind this. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out and sharing my thoughts. Next thing that I got is Henry Clay, The Essential American by David S. Heidler and Jeanne T. Heidler. I'm really inclined to pick this up. It caught my attention because Henry Clay is one of the noteworthy names of American politics during the first half of the 19th century. And he really made a great impact with the many positions that he held. His greater attempts to make his way up the chain. Unfortunately, he was never elected as a president, but I'm definitely inclined to learn much more about Henry Clay. Next thing that I got is Soul Made Flesh, The Discovery of the Brain and How It Changed the World by Carl Zimmer. And recently at the Book Garden I got a book about the future of the brain. And that has more to do with what technology and all of these developments and how they're impacting the brain. This one is about its discovery as an organ and a greater historical context is placed on this particular book. And this book takes both a historical and a scientific approach, which I enjoy. I think that the history of medicine is quite fascinating, even though I feel that I need to get over my squeamishness toward organs a bit more. Next thing that I got is Negro President, Jefferson and the Slave Power by Garry Willis. I would say that books having to do with Thomas Jefferson fascinate me on all accounts. I really am inclined to pick more of them up. I read The Art of Power and it was amazing. It explores the relations that he had with the slaves of that period of time and how Jefferson himself was a great contradictory on the issue of abolition, but at the same time he really was popular among that given community. And there's a lot that I am inclined to learn. There's a lot that is really going to catch my attention as I read this. Next thing that I got is Alice, which has to do with Alice Roosevelt Longworth, who was Theodore Roosevelt's daughter, and the great tenure and impact that she had in American history. Alice Roosevelt Longworth, she came to the White House with her dad when she was very young, in the early 20th century. And her presence remained prevalent deep into the 20th century. She actually gave her input to Richard Nixon during his presidency. She was born in 1884 and died in 1980, so she lived a really long life, and a life where she was heavily present in the affairs of the times. Those were the nonfiction books that I got while I was at Booktrader. I did get 3 fictional books as well as 1 ARC copy, which was a fiction book. But next one that I got was Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which has to do with the very speculative and mysterious marriage that Rebecca ended up getting herself into. And I get the sense that this is a work of Gothic horror. But what really caught my attention is the fact that I recently won 3 giveaways in one night on Goodreads, and one of them was a biography of Daphne du Maurier, and I felt that I should include books of hers in my ever-growing collection, and this is one that I want to read, and I also want to read Jamaica Inn. But I'm really looking forward to checking this out and learning more about Daphne du Maurier and her literature. Next one that I got was Prague by Arthur Phillips. And the way that the sense that I'm getting out of this is that it has to do with characters in this book seeking a greater opportunity in this given area. But I must say that the title itself caught my attention. I'm really looking to read more about that given area, the Czech Republic in Europe. Next thing that I got is a book that I've heard a lot about from the BookTube community and from friends that I know, specifically Bree from the show. But that is Room by Emma Donoghue, and this has to do with a mother and son being locked in a room where this is where the son has lived all of his life, and the mother is doing her best to care for him and make his life as easygoing as possible. And the idea of that closing in is just discomforting within itself, which really catches my attention to a book like this. And the arc that I picked up while I was there, which they have arcs that people can take for free in exchange for an honest review when they are done. But I got The Other Einstein by Marie Benedict, which is a work of historical fiction. And I put in for this during a Goodreads giveaway, but I find it interesting. It has to do with a woman named Mileva Merrick and her relationship with Albert Einstein. She is quite remarkable and genuine herself, which Albert Einstein was just, as you would know, he was a remarkable physicist. But she wanted to go forward with him as an equal, but Einstein was the kind of person, he was going forward himself, and I think history has a lot to note about that. But I'll be interested to check into this and see how historically accurate it is, and at the same time how amazed and entertained I am. I'm definitely going to leave a review, as is the nature of getting ARC copies. Alrighty, this is what I got while I was at Booktrader. Alrighty. Thank you for tuning in to this book haul of mine. I really enjoy talking about my accounts of each of my bookstore visits. I feel that it is amazing what bookstores have to offer, and the multiple and endless matches that can be made. And I feel that people can take home so many books that catch their attention, and for me, I've taken home a modest amount myself. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you continue to watch more videos from our channel, and for now, and as always, I encourage you to keep reading.